Smriti, there are largely three issues, I think, which are bothering most policymakers and other agents in the economy. Number one is the fact that there is going to now be an economic slowdown. We've already started experiencing that in some quarters of the economy. CRISIL's expectation for GDP growth is that it is going to slip to 6% in the next fiscal after having come down to 7% in the current fiscal. Now, there are three factors that we see driving this growth down to. Number one is global economy slowing and therefore the impact on exports. We've already started experiencing that. We're seeing that in overall as well as core exports. Second is the fact that this year benefited, this fiscal benefited from a one-time lift effect that many of the contact-based services experienced, and that is slowly going to start waning. And the third thing broadly is that the repo rate has been raised by over 200 basis points so far. Our understanding is that there will be some more increase, but transmission of these rates will start getting faster now, and at some point that will start affecting some segments of the economy. So broadly, these three factors are going to bring about a slowdown in economic growth next year. So that's number one concern. Second is inflation. The RBI, like I said, has raised rates to control inflation, but we also know that a large part of inflation is coming in also from the supply side, on which the RBI has relatively less control. Now, recent reading on inflation goes to show that inflation has indeed entered the comfort zone of the RBI, but it's also true that that's happened because of some idiosyncratic reasons. We know that vegetable inflation, for instance, has come down, and that also tends to be a very, very volatile component. The RBI is also now extremely focused on core inflation, which is 6% plus. And as long as core inflation stays high, the RBI is going to be vigilant and cautious on that front. So that's the second thing which not only worries the RBI, but also the budget and the government, because to that extent, the government's actions need to be non-inflationary in nature. And finally, I think the third thing from a macro backdrop perspective is on the external front. We have seen how current account deficit is picking up. Our estimate is that it will rise to 3.2% of GDP on average for the current fiscal. Of course, we expect it to moderate thereafter next year to 2.4%. But we all do understand that risks are simmering. Commodity and oil prices are coming down, but not to such a large extent. Geopolitics is still a worry for most of us. So I think these are the three things which broadly overlay the backdrop to this budget that's coming up.